Welcome to another episode of Hiring and Empowering Solutions. My name is Molly McGrath, and I am the creator of this Office Altering podcast. If you're a first-time listener, welcome. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. As always, you can check us out at hiringandempowering.com. Alrighty, so today we are talking about this whole concept about responsibility. I hear so often from people that I feel like I'm totally responsible, or I feel like the responsibility's all on me. I hear this from entrepreneurs. I hear this from employees all the time when we're going through our weekly team meeting, going through KPIs, going through projects and checking in on things. And when we, do the water cooler run by or the Zoom meeting chat or communication ping pong with text, Slack, email, what have you. What's the status of this? Where are you at with that? How come you didn't do blah, blah, blah? And so often the immediate response is this defense, and where people have this clouded mindset around this terminology, responsibility. So what if we shift that? And I've been having this conversation internally with our team as well in regards to different things, and they'll hear, well, I feel like I'm responsible, or all the responsibility is on me. And I stop them in their tracks and say, it is. So can you shift your mindset? Can you shift your tonality? Can you shift your verbiage around that? And versus being a victim, and really owning that, yes, I am responsible. I am responsible for this piece. Whether you have other helpers helping you out, whether there are people that you're depending on to show up and do their job, at the end of the day, if you're the lead, or you're a leader, or you're an entrepreneur, it is an honor to be responsible. So that 2 millimeter shift, that responsibility is it's freedom, because when you know that you are responsible for it, and then you interact with all the moving pieces, all the helpers, all the players in a very different way. Responsibility is just about, how do I want to respond? With action, with non-action, energetically, in tonality, but responsible, but not when you're responsible, but you feel like you don't have the permission to act, is very different. So if you start with shifting your mind, I am responsible. Yes, you are. Yes, I am. Because I have the power. I have the permission. I have the authority and to respond, not react. And so when people use these victim words, like, I feel like I'm totally responsible, or all the responsibilities on me, is that you are operating from this reaction place versus responsive place. So when you shift your mindset and know you have the power, and clarify if you need to as an employee with the boss, clarify with your team if you are the boss or the entrepreneur. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs don't like that term boss, but that's what I'm using today. So when you really shift that and have the clear conversation with whomever you need to, and say, I just want to be clear. I'm responsible for X, correct? Great. I am so excited to step up and to own it. I just want to be clear that I have the permission, the authority, the empowerment, and the power. And I don't love that word either, but I have the responsibility. Let's just say that I have the power to be able to take action, make the decision for no action, but come with a proposed solution for why I didn't take action. And I have the responsibility to show up and kind of boss people around who aren't doing their part of it. So that whole elephant in the room, the whole energetic thing around it. Get clear on that. And once you do that, then it shifts everything for you. Because as entrepreneurs, we are 100% responsible as leaders. If you're a PLA or a COO or CEO as well. If you're leading a team, yes, you are responsible. Own it. Hold your head high with it and get really, really clear on what that means, even if you're depending on other people. And as the quote unquote boss and the business owner, nobody's going to care as much as you do about your business. Nobody's going to work as hard as you do about your business. So stop complaining about it. It's an absolute honor that you're an entrepreneur and you get to run the show for your own business. You get to carry out your own vision, your own values. You get to make your business what you want it to be. So often I hear nobody cares as much as I do. I'm the one who's totally responsible. At the end of the day, my name is on the door. At the end of the day, my license is on the door or at stake, what have you. Yes. So shift your mind and stop complaining about it and own it. Now create systems around you so you don't resent it and you don't resent the people that you're employing, whether independent contractor, virtual W-9 or what have you. And or guess what? Your partners. That's the big elephant in the room. Who's responsible? You both are. Okay, well, for what? Let's get clear on that. And let's not have resentment around it. And let's be owning it and holding our head high and powerfully around it. So the next time you hear somebody with this victim energy, and it might be you, around being responsible for blah, 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 then stop it in the tracks and use it as an opportunity to maybe have a mini retreat. We're ending Q1 and have a mini retreat with your team. All around this conversation around responsibility, permission, authority, what it means, and then what the responsible, i.e. leader, what the framework looks like, how they want to respond around action, non-action, tonality, i.e. attitude. People use that in their energetic essence around it. So often people just measure action and non-action. But what about the way the person is either performing action or non-action? There's another resource, the third one that people gloss over called energy. So if they don't have passion around it, they don't have a deep desire around it, and they don't get it, they don't want it, and they don't want the responsibility around it, but they're checking boxes and doing what they need to do just to say they did it, you need to stop and take a look at that as well. So you can be responsible for their response, not how they're reacting. So that's one area that people gloss over so long. They measure the action and non-action. What about the way they do what they do? What about the way they behave when they do what they do or don't do? Those are the things that get people fired. Those are the things that cause us so much frustration and aggravation. This term that people use, drama in an office or chaos in an office, it can be eliminated immediately. So if you're the leader, if you're the employee, stop interacting with this terminology of I am responsible in a victim mentality and shift it around in a place of honor, in a place of empowerment, in a place of unrelenting standards, and get clear as a team on what those standards are, what the permissions are, what the authorities are around, and how we're going to measure and how we're going to name and how we're going to have conversations around when it comes to the responsibility of action, non-action, and the energetic attitude and behavior of how people do what they do and when they do it, because that is the biggest resource that most business owners do not measure, but typically the biggest demise of the business. All right, let us know where we can help out. Until next time, this has been another episode of Hiring and Empowering Solutions Check us out at www.hiringandempowering.com.